Welcome to the Salzkammergut, a resort area around an array of alpine mountains that comes with a lot of mountain lakes, many of which we decided to drive around. Now, don't look at this as an absolute travel guide for the area, because we really just stopped at random locations and the only plan we had was which lakes we want to go to, but nothing much else. Some of it might seem a bit chaotic, we still tried our best anyway. I've also decided to split this video into chapters so you can easier follow up which footage belongs to which lake and it becomes just more comprehensible in that way, and also so I can control that I don't go into overlength, because otherwise this video would end up to be like an hour long, which is something that might happen anyways, but I digress. Let's get into the footage. So for exploring the Salzkammergut, we decided that we want to drive around as many of the lakes as possible, and we're literally on the north side of the first lake we want to drive around. And the only reason we stopped here is this castle in the background, which is one of the oldest structures in the whole area, and it's in the town of Mondsee, if anyone wants to look that up. This entire video is probably just me being like, oh wow, look at mountains, because all we're literally doing is stopping in random ass places and, you know, looking at mountains, which is what we're doing here. We're currently in the small village of Winkel, and I don't really think there's anything here except there's like a hotel event location kind of place behind us. But we're not really here for that, we're here just for this water area. At the lake, and also the water here is extremely clear and I'm really amazed by that. While the landscape you're currently seeing is very typical for the area, I also needed to get something to eat that's very typical for the area, because these kind of bread rolls, I really don't know how to call them in English. You can't really get in, for example, Germany. They're usually just around in Eastern Europe. I don't know why they sell them in Austria too, but I'm happy about it because they're freaking amazing. The town we're currently in is a very unfortunate location. I'm not even sure if people really live here because it's very small or slim of a place. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but you know, you have the lake here and then a very steep mountain behind me that's limiting the town. So it's really only hotels and private spaces for the hotels. This is the only public place for the entire town apparently, which is weird to begin with. But you can see fishes here, which is fun. I haven't seen that so far. The spot I'm right now standing at is probably not the most legal to be at, let alone film at, but the entire lake we're currently driving around seems to be kind of a mess, because every single village or town or whatever is either built in a way where there's literally no space in any direction, you can't park anywhere, or you have these places where you can park somewhere, but everything is a private building and every access to the lake is also private. So I'm not sure what's going on here, I'm not sure why this is the most touristic area. I mean, most of these places could be rented to people, but I mean, this is not a good example, but most spots we were driving by were extremely loud, so I'm just confused at this point. I mean, it's beautiful here, but again, probably not legal to be here. Just for a change of location, I wanted to include this marina, because this is probably the most chill place we've been at so far on this lake. Can't really walk on it, even though that would be more exciting, but you know, we don't own a boat, so that's not an option. Now that we're about to film it, it's getting super windy, which is great for the background noise. I'm not sure how amazing listening to this right now is, but we found the last spot before leaving this lake, and it's really chill here. There's a lot of people, so filming is not the easiest to do, but other than that, this would be definitely a place where I would just sit down for a couple hours if we wouldn't still have like 20 other locations to go to. Another lake, another spot we are likely not allowed to be in. But like, the more we're driving around these lakes, the more I'm realizing that it's incredibly hard to find a spot that isn't either crowded by people in a way that makes it impossible to film there, or has so much traffic that that becomes the hindrance, which also that happens here a lot in the background, so that's great. Or that isn't private, because like, there's a private building, there's a sign that says we shouldn't be here. I'm not sure if we're allowed to stand in this space. We just do, so we can at least showcase the lake somewhat, but it is starting to become a little annoying, so I hope not all of these lakes have this issue. Alright, turns out this lake is actually worse with private grounds, because we're literally, there's nothing behind me and we were just told off that we can't stand here because it's private grounds. So that's fun. Also, the way we were driving along the lake was literally just private, 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 private. It's like I still don't understand where you can even go. It's kind of sad, to be honest. It's kind of sad that so much of it is privatized, because so many of these spots would be amazing to hang out at and you just can't. And that's sad in my opinion. And therefore, at this point, I'm not sure how much I can recommend this whole area as a regular tourist. We're right now in the main city at the edge of the lake, and to be fair, it's not as crowded as I expected it to be, even though there's a lot of people still here, and you can't really see that because that's not in frame. I don't want anyone to be upset to be in frame, to be honest. But anyway, I still don't quite understand why so much of the lake shores are privatized, but maybe I'm just not capitalist enough to understand that mindset. And, you know, I'm happy that we have the drone, so we were able to take a lot of shots from the lake from areas you wouldn't be able to properly see. So there's that, I guess. Sometimes the only solution is to drive around the lake to go to the other side of the lake, which obviously you can't do if you don't have a car. But at least here we have spots we can go to at the lake where we don't get screamed at for being in private places or whatever. Currently it's very close to sunset hours, so the light isn't exactly our friend right now, or the sun rather. And also, this lake again, if you check maps, really doesn't have any indication if there's any public spots to go at. It looks like everything is privatized yet again, so we don't really get to showcase much of this other than with drone footage right now. Also, look behind me, you will totally understand why we won't film in person around here. Right now I'm standing at the shore of Hallstatt, which is first of all probably the most famous town in the whole area, but it's also usually crowded with tourists in insane amounts, which also would normally make me not want to come here, but given that it's Sunday 7 AM, we have it all for ourselves, which is crazy to me personally, so we are able to show it to you properly without a million people speaking in the background, and that's just awesome. I just don't know how long this will last, so I'm not sure how many more clips of here will come. Probably this might be the only one. What the hell is that? You can buy a t-shirt in a roll. You can buy air. Which apparently in some Asian country, because the smog is that bad, people buy fresh air from other countries to have air, which is a weird concept to me. I mean, it makes sense, but it still feels off. It's kind of a shame. I would like to buy something, but literally every gift store and every restaurant and every cafe and everything is closed because, you know, it's as early as we planned to come here. So that's unfortunate because we're not gonna stay for hours. Oh my god, I didn't even pay attention to that. These houses look amazing. Some of them seem to be like rentable. I don't want to know what it costs to stay in these houses. That's crazy. But like architecturally, they're beautiful. that's pretty.
Huh?
That's pretty. Fascinatingly enough, if you go that far in the town, it looks like a completely different town to me personally. I wouldn't even, yeah, it still looks Austrian, but it looks like a different region of Austria to me personally. Alright, so I decided to get a t-shirt because every other store is closed and I want to have something from the area. So I think the card thing on the machine was broken, so I had to run back with cash and also find a coin changer, so that was a whole mess. But now I got my t-shirt and I hope the machine didn't mess anything up and this is the design I wanted. I like it. It's definitely, like, I'm not sure how good quality it is, I'm not sure if it's absolutely worth the 20 euros, but it was a nice buy. Frankly, this is as stereotypical as Austria can be. I mean, you have the animals, the mountains, these kind of houses that look very Austrian to me as well. And it's very, very beautiful here, honestly. I feel like that would be a cool place to stay at for a day and chill. That is perfect. This is honestly, in my opinion, so far the prettiest lake we've been at. And also, even though it's kind of crowded by tourists, it's so much more calm here. I have to watch that I don't fall over. That would be an issue, given that I can't swim. But anyway, it's really beautiful here. I love it. I could really sit here for the entire day and just, you know, exist.
Sehr gut gefunden eigentlich, aber es ist sonst irgendwo in Wänden ist es dann wahrscheinlich am Großquist. Ja, ich meine.
It's currently almost sunset, so the lighting behind me is not that great. We're gonna go here again tomorrow, so I'm gonna have more clips of this very lake. But it's very chill here. And I feel like this is a cool place to end the evening, especially given that at least you can somewhat get to the lake here. I'm not sure if you can get to the path into the lake, you can see there. I really have no idea if that is possible. That would be cool. But nevertheless, even here we're closer to the lake than we've been at some of the other lakes, to be honest. But the thing I would recommend the most to do at this very lake would be using the, I don't know how to call that, clockwork railway to the so-called Sheep's Mountain. And let me just show you why.
Aufgrund der aktuell geltenden Covid-19-Richtlinien dürfen wir Sie darauf hinweisen, dass während der gesamten Fahrt der Mund-Nasenschutz zu tragen ist. Wir wünschen eine angenehme Fahrt.
That's the end of the hiking trail, if we would have walked that. Right now I'm standing on top of the Schafberg, which is about 1200 meters high. Small correction, it's actually 1700 meters, but who's counting, am I right? And we didn't come up here by walking, we took the rails, and I wouldn't want to walk that if I look at these hiking paths, to be honest. But this is perfect. Oh, this is perfect timing. You see the weather changing right now? Because over there, I'm not sure if the camera angle sees that, but like, there was a clear view a minute ago and now it's completely obstructed by clouds, and this happens every other minute, so that's fun. But other than that, it's a really, really cool spot to see lakes, honestly. I mean, yeah, look. I wouldn't have this energy. Never. I couldn't be able to do that. But anyway, this is not the only lake you're seeing from up here, and also this is just one lake, even though it looks like two, it's just disconnected by the view. And there's like other ones in different directions. We're gonna walk around, and then one more thing to the changing weather. Look at what's going on over there. This is like hardly visible at this point anymore, and I feel like it's getting worse, so that's fun. Okay, seeing this lake from the drone was already amazing, but this is a whole other ball game. Oh my god, I can't even properly stand here without getting fear of height attacks, but this is amazing. Weather changes in this height are really funny because now the entire lake is gone. So that's interesting. It also looks like if you step down there you're dead, which you also would be anyway, but now it's extra that.
Jetzt sieht man so gar nichts mehr.
I have no idea what lake that is at the very end, like the small one. I don't know how properly you can see that on camera, but like we're not even sure if we've been there, so I don't know where this clip is gonna go. It's just gonna be somewhere randomly, unless I'll find out which lake that is. I just wanted to include a clip at the end where you see the entire viewpoint from up here from the Sheep's Mountain, and how you can see pretty much the entire Salzkammergut from above actually. So we're starting off with here, the Attersee. Then the Mondsee is here. At the very far back you can see the Irrsee, but I'm not sure how well that's visible on camera. Still haven't quite figured out which lake that is. And then all the way down there is the Wolfgangsee. No matter from how many angles I look down this mountain, I can't believe my eyes. Even though I've been at locations like this before, but it's been a couple of years, so you know, this is one of the most spectacular things I've seen and places I've been at in a while.